What's going on, Beaver High School? Welcome to AAA Today. I'm Cutshaw.
And I'm Whit. Today we got an exciting episode with new segments you know and love. So let's get started with our lit team.
Congratulations to the BHS literary team for the regional championships and for the 24th consecutive year. This year's results are second place finishers Sophia Skelton in the girls solo, Sophia Skelton, Shelby Claire Drake, Lily Small for the girls trio, Caleb Watson for the argumentative essay, and Abigail Hoychik for the extemporaneous speaking and international topic. Moving on to our first place champions that are going on to state on March 14th, Jay Tudor in the extemporaneous speaking and domestic topic, Brandon Main for the literary analysis essay, Abby Shin for the personal essay, Christopher Rashar for the literary interpretation dramatic, Braden Ouimet and Lily Humphrey for the literary interpretation duo, Sophie White for the literary interpretation humorous, Vincenzo Fuco for the boys solo, and Samuel Jennings, Simi Banks, Vincenzo Fuco, and Drew Riley in the quartet. Also, thank you to our literary coaches Leela Bowman, Drew Boss, Anna Bork, Taylor Green, Amy Lister, Mackenzie Morris, and Bethany Phillips.
You know, Whitley, would you rather check out what's going on in the Wolves Den or Mystery Surprise?
Well, before we do that, let's go to Would You Rather with Rob.
Oh, good idea. Take it away, Rob.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
A horse-sized duck? I could probably beat it up, honestly.
Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or 20 minutes early?
I'd rather be 20 minutes early because I hate being late.
Would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green or never have to stand in line again?
All traffic lights I approach be green.
Why?
Because I hate traffic lights.
Would you rather always have to sing everything you say or dance every time you hear a song?
Oh, that's easy. Dance every time I hear a song because I could just be like...
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Be invisible.
Who am I here with today?
Cannon Nelson.
Cannon Nelson. What would you rather do? Score a goal on Brady Carlton or guard Owen Leonardo?
Oh, Brady Carlton all day.
Nate, can you already believe it's March?
No, man, I can't, but March is my favorite month.
Yeah, I haven't even finished my Halloween candy, but since it's March, that means it's St. Patrick's Day. So let's go to the Wolves Den and see what's up with them.
Hey Wolves, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, we have a special offer for y'all.
That's right. The 1st of March through St. Patrick's Day, everything in the Wolves Den is going to be 20% off, so make sure you guys come visit us now.
You know, Whit, spring is really kicking into gear, and it feels like there's something going on everywhere.
That's why it's important to stay updated. Let's go to sports.
Good morning, Buford. I'm Ansley.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is your Wolves Weekly Sports Update. It's been a massive month for Buford sports, from state championship runs to major college commitments. Let's dive into the highlights.
First up, big shout out to our varsity rivalry team. They're currently in the second round of the GHSA state championships after a dominant win over Luella. They're heading to the state finals on March 14th with a 10-3 season record. Good luck, Wolves.
On the mats, our wrestling team just secured the state runner-up title in the traditional championship. Huge individual honors go to Orion Mills, Greg Richardson, and DJ Clark, who brought home his second consecutive state title.
The Lady Wolves basketball team finished a stellar 28-2 season, claiming the region championship and making the 25th consecutive trip to the state playoffs. On the boys' side, the Wolves took down Central Gwinnett to win the Region 8 6A championship following 19-9 for the year.
In the pool, our dive team placed second in state, led by top 10 finishes from Bryson McKnight and Riker Williams. And over in dance, the squad took third in state for both Jazz and Palm. That's 6 years in a row, taking the top 4.
Spring is officially here and the action isn't slowing down.
Baseball is currently 7-1 and 3-0 in the region. Catch them at home this Friday for Youth Night versus Collins Hill at 5:55 p.m.
The boys lacrosse team are on a 4-game win streak, outscoring opponents 77-33.
And for gymnastics, they are undefeated at 2-0. Mark your calendars. Buford hosts the state championship on April 22nd and 24th.
In bass fishing, Price Jenkinson and Bryce Carey took first place at the West Point Lake, beating 265 other boats.
Finally, a huge congratulations to the 16 seniors who signed college scholarships on February 4th. That brings our total to 43 athletes heading to the next level this year. Our final signing ceremony is set for May 19th.
That's it for this update. Remember to get out and support the spring sports going on this week.
My favorite segment on AAA Today is Today in History. Jacob and Hudson do a great job on it, so let's send it over to them.
On this day in 1820, James Monroe signed the Missouri Compromise. When Missouri applied for statehood, a raging debate broke out over slavery between the northern and southern states. In the Senate, there was a perfect balance of slave and free states, 11 free states in the north and 11 slave states in the south. Another slave state would disrupt the balance and let slave states get an advantage in the Senate. After legislation for Missouri to become a free state failed to pass, Maine requested for statehood. A compromise was then created. Maine would be a free state and Missouri would be a slave state, with an added addition that would ban slavery north of the 3630 latitude. However, even with this compromise, the issue of slavery would still later come up again. Also on this day in 1857, Chief Justice Roger B. Taney announced the Dred Scott decision. Dred Scott was a slave under his master John Emerson. Emerson then brought Scott from Missouri, a slave state, to Illinois, a free state, and finally to Wisconsin, a free territory. After Emerson's death in 1846, Scott advocated that he was a free man since he had lived in both Illinois and Wisconsin, and therefore became free. After years of back and forth decisions between different courts, the case eventually reached the Supreme Court in 1857. Chief Justice Roger B. Taney declared that African Americans were not citizens of the United States and therefore could not sue in courts. In addition, Taney deemed that the Missouri Compromise was unconstitutional and that it could not forbid slavery in territories. The North was outraged while the South felt victorious from this decision. This controversial decision furthered the sectional divide between the North and South, eventually leading to the Civil War.
NASA's Artemis II mission has been put to a halt. Following a wet dress rehearsal, a leak of hydrogen was found in the tail service mast umbilical. Hydrogen is known to be extremely flammable and has led to major aviation disasters in the past, including the 1986 Challenger disaster. Due to this, the launch date has been pushed no later than April, and several projects have been put ahead of its date. Prominent space companies SpaceX and Blue Origin have contracts with NASA and are tasked with developing lunar landers. SpaceX's Starship, originally planned for expeditions to Mars, has undergone multiple test flights and exploded prematurely on numerous occasions. Similarly, Blue Origin has developed an Apollo-style lander, but test flights have not commenced. In addition, there are a series of problems with the flow of helium, which is used to clear the propellant lines in the upper half of the SLS, or Space Launch System. With these problems addressed, NASA has decided to have the launch date set no later than April, although a launch months later, after April, isn't uncommon. When the mission commences, it will consist of a 10-day slingshot trip around the moon and back with NASA's Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Koch, and Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen. That marks the end of this NASA segment. Let's get back to the studio for more of AAA Today.
And that's all we've got this week on AAA Today.
I'm Whit signing off.
And I'm Cut Shaw. We'll see you guys next time.